What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. During the latest episode of the She Believe You May podcast, Michael Bisping and Paul Felder shared their official predictions for the upcoming UFC 321 main event. Both analysts agreed that despite Ciryl Gane's elite striking and composure, Tom Aspinall will ultimately emerge victorious and retain his heavyweight title. Bisping praised Aspinall's skill set, noting how sharp and fluid he looks even for a heavyweight. When he's ripping combos on the pads, Tom is unreal. It's like watching a welterweight hit the pads. The way he moves is incredible, Bisping said. He added that while the fight could get interesting if Gane manages to keep it standing for long stretches, he still expects Aspinall to find a way to win. Felder echoed that sentiment, emphasizing Gane's technical abilities but pointing out his shortcomings in wrestling. Fernand Lopez, Gane's coach, apparently said, "He is not a great wrestler, so why waste time working on wrestling? That kind of approach could cost him against someone like Tom." Bisping also referenced comments made by Daniel Cormier, suggesting that Gane might be spreading himself too thin with outside ventures like acting. "He's been doing movies and other things, which isn't necessarily bad. It's something I did too. But when you're facing someone as laser-focused as Aspinall, it makes a difference," Bisping said. Both analysts agreed that Aspinall's complete dedication to the sport sets him apart. "Tom is obsessed with this game. He has zero distractions. That's what makes him special," Felder noted. By the end of the discussion, both Bisping and Felder were confident in their choice. "There's no point even asking who we're picking. We both have Tom winning this. I think he gets the finish," Bisping concluded, with Felder nodding in agreement. Their shared prediction underscores the growing consensus that Tom Aspinall may be entering a dominant era in the UFC heavyweight division, an athlete combining speed, skill, and determination unlike anyone else in his weight class. Before moving on to the next news, we have a quick request for you. We're always working to improve our content and truly value your support. If you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, it would mean a lot to us. That way you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. In his latest YouTube video, Max Holloway shared his prediction for the highly anticipated UFC 321 main event between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane. The former featherweight champion gave a detailed breakdown of both fighters, highlighting their strengths and weaknesses while ultimately leaning in favor of Aspinall to win in dominant fashion. Holloway began by addressing Gane's biggest question marks: his takedown, defense, and head movement. "The main thing I'm curious about is how Cyryl's takedown defense looks, or even his head movement," Holloway said. "Tom is going to mix things up. He'll fake shots, throw heavy overhand rights, and keep Gane guessing. That's what makes him so dangerous." According to Holloway, Aspinall's explosiveness and pace are major advantages. "Tom likes to start early and fast. It'd be crazy not to bet on the under, because Aspinall has been knocking out a who's who of heavyweights," he noted. However, Holloway also gave Gane credit for his elite striking and composure inside the octagon. On the other side, Ciryl is no joke. He's technical, smooth, and can frustrate guys with his movement. But with the way Tom's been fighting lately, it's hard to pick against him. The guy looks unbeatable, strong, fast, and confident. When discussing the betting odds, Holloway acknowledged that Aspinall was heavily favored but still offered his take. "The odds are rough, minus 355, that's tough. But if I had to pick, I'd go with Tom Aspinall under 2.5 rounds. That's probably the best bet," he said with a grin. Holloway even threw in a bold prediction. "If you want to get wild with it, maybe Tom by submission. I know everyone's talking about his striking, but he's got serious grappling too. And with all the questions around Gane's ground game and takedown defense, that could be where this fight ends." Ultimately, Holloway made it clear that he sees Aspinall continuing his dominant run in the heavyweight division. "Tom's been on another level, man. I think he goes out there and gets it done, probably before the third round. He's just that good right now." Move on to another news. At the UFC 321 press conference, Kamaru Usman made it clear that a matchup with Belal Muhammad is not a priority. Asked about the persistent social media back and forth and Muhammad's calls for the fight, Usman was blunt. His focus is singular: reclaim the UFC welterweight title. Usman characterized much of the online exchange as one-sided and dismissed the drama as noise. "There wasn't a lot of back and forth from my side. It was coming from him," he said, later referring to Muhammad dismissively as a dork and explaining his decision to ignore the provocations. More importantly, Usman framed the issue from a sporting perspective. Muhammad is currently ranked above him, and Usman is targeting the belt rather than settling personal scores. "Why waste time with him?" Usman asked rhetorically. "I've been where he hasn't been. I'm after the title. I'm not here to waste time." He emphasized that a fight with Muhammad would offer him little upside while giving Muhammad a chance to gain significantly by beating him. Still, Usman didn't rule out the possibility entirely. He warned that if he regains the championship, he won't not forget Muhammad's calls and would welcome the matchup on his own terms. The tone was resolute and strategic. Usman is prioritizing a clear path back to gold, not headline-grabbing grudge matches. For now, fans will have to wait and see whether title aspirations or personal rivalries determine his next move. Move on to another news. Ilia Topuria recently opened up about his UFC future in an interview with Diario as addressing the growing speculation surrounding his next opponent. With rumors circulating about potential matchups against fighters like Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett, and Arman Tsarukyan, Topuria offered a candid update on where things stand and who he'd prefer to face next. The undefeated champion made it clear that while nothing official has been confirmed, his sights are firmly set on Paddy Pimblett. There's really nothing official at the moment, Topuria explained. I haven't had any formal conversations with the UFC either. Everything people are hearing right now is just rumors. Once I get the call and we go into details, I'll be able to share more. When pressed on who he would most like to face, Topuria didn't hesitate to name Pimblett. If it were up to me, I'd rather fight Paddy, he said. There's a history between us, and I think it would be a much more entertaining fight for the fans. Topuria has long been known for his aggressive, confident approach, both inside and outside the octagon, and a fight with Pimblett would be one of the most anticipated rivalries in the division. The two have exchanged words for years, building tension that fans are eager to see resolved in the cage. I compete to entertain everyone and give them a unique experience, Topuria added. With Paddy, I believe we could achieve that. It's not just about winning, it's about creating moments people will remember. While no official matchup has been announced, Topuria's comments leave little doubt about his intentions. As he continues to rise as one of the UFC's most dominant and outspoken fighters, a potential showdown with Pimblett could become one of the biggest draws in the lightweight division, combining skill, rivalry, and showmanship in one explosive bout. Move on to another news. Justin Gaethje has made his intentions clear. He wants Ilia Topuria next, and he wants the fight to happen on the highly anticipated UFC White House card. During a recent Q&A session, the former interim lightweight champion was asked about his plans, and he didn't hesitate to name Topuria as his target. Gaethje revealed that he initially aimed for a January matchup with the undefeated Spanish-Georgian champion, but the timing didn't work out. Now, he believes the White House card presents the perfect opportunity for the showdown. My next fight, I'm planning on fighting whenever Ilia is fighting, Gaethje said. I was hoping they'd let me fight him in January, but that doesn't seem realistic anymore. The question is, when is Ilia fighting again? I don't know the answer to that, and I don't think anyone does except him and his team. Gaethje's focus on Topuria stems not only from competitive ambition but also from a deep sense of loyalty to the UFC. He's been one of the most reliable and entertaining fighters on the roster, known for never backing down and always putting on a show. The best case scenario now is that they put us on the White House card, he continued. I can't imagine why they wouldn't. He's the champ. He's incredibly popular, and I'm an American fighter who's earned this opportunity. I've never missed a fight, never failed the UFC, and I've always represented this sport with pride. I think I deserve this one. Gaethje emphasized that the fight would not only deliver fireworks inside the octagon, but also serve as a proud moment for American MMA. I want to represent the United States of America on the White House lawn, he said confidently. It would be an honor to compete on that stage and give the fans a fight they'll never forget. As anticipation builds for the rumored White House event, Gaethje's call-out adds another layer of intrigue to the lightweight division. With his proven track record and Topuria's rising dominance, a clash between the two could easily become one of the biggest fights of the year, a battle of grit, power, and national pride. Move on to another news. Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson has shared his thoughts on the upcoming UFC 321 main event, the heavyweight title clash between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane. In his analysis, Johnson confidently stated that Aspinall is operating on an entirely different level and expects him to successfully defend his heavyweight championship. According to Johnson, Aspinall's skill set and adaptability make him one of the most complete fighters in the heavyweight division. Every time Tom Aspinall steps into the octagon, he proves that he's built to keep this division alive, Johnson said. He can fight anywhere, on the feet or on the ground. The only time Tom gets into trouble is when someone pressures him and he pulls his head back out of position. But even then, his composure and movement allow him to recover quickly. When breaking down Ciryl Gane's strengths, Johnson acknowledged the Frenchman's athleticism and fluid movement. Gane is a big, athletic fighter who moves very well for his size, he noted. He's got dangerous kicks, a solid right hand, and excellent push kicks. He's also been working with top wrestlers, including Olympic caliber grapplers, to address his biggest weakness, his ground game. However, Johnson believes that Aspinall's overall skill set, power, and precision make him the superior fighter. Tom hits incredibly hard, but what people don't talk about enough is his accuracy, Johnson explained. Every time he throws a combination, it's clean and right down the middle. His timing and precision are elite. He knows exactly when to strike, when to wrestle, and how to control the pace of a fight. As one of the most technically gifted fighters in MMA history, Johnson's assessment carries significant weight. He concluded by reaffirming his pick. "I'm going with Tom Aspinall. He's too fast, too accurate, and too well-rounded. Gane is dangerous, but Tom just has too many weapons. Unless Gane can keep him on the outside for all 5 rounds, I see Aspinall retaining his belt." Johnson's breakdown perfectly encapsulates why fans are so excited for UFC 321, a clash between 2 elite heavyweights, each with distinct styles, but only one emerging as the undisputed champion. Move on to another news. UFC light heavyweight contender Jamahal Hill has revealed that he will be sidelined for a significant period following a major knee injury. In a recent interview with Home Fighting, Hill explained that the damage to his knee was far worse than initially believed, leaving him with virtually no cartilage. This condition severely affected his ability to throw kicks, bounce around, and move freely inside the octagon. After undergoing cartilage transplant surgery, Hill confirmed that he would be out of competition until late 2026 as he focuses on recovery and rebuilding his physical strength. Discussing the details of the surgery, Hill said, "Apparently, the cartilage in my knee was almost non-existent. There were several bad tears, even within the cartilage itself. I had to go through a cartilage transplant to fill that up and try to get some of that bounce back in my legs." He added that fans may have noticed the effects of the injury in his recent fights, where his usual mobility and kicking game were missing. "In my last few fights, I wasn't hopping, bouncing, or throwing kicks the way I normally do. I tried to avoid surgery for as long as possible because I wanted to get my belt back. Losing it while I was at the top really hurt, and I wanted to come back quickly and reclaim it." When asked about a potential timeline for his return, Hill remained realistic but hopeful. "I'm looking at maybe the end of next year," he said. "It's going to be a long road, but the goal is to come back stronger and better than before." This means fans might not see Hill inside the octagon again until late 2026, marking nearly a full year away from competition. Hill's injury and surgery come after a challenging stretch in his career, as he continues to recover from previous setbacks while aiming to regain his championship form. His commitment to healing and improving his physical capabilities shows his determination to return to the sport he loves. For now, Hill's focus is on rehabilitation, ensuring that when he does step back into the cage, he'll do so at 100%, ready to make another run at UFC gold. Move on to another news. Conor McGregor recently opened up about a new chapter in his life, one deeply rooted in faith and self-discovery. Currently in Rome, Italy, for BKFC 83, McGregor spoke candidly about his spiritual transformation and how it has reignited his passion for competition ahead of his highly anticipated UFC return. At Thursday's press conference, fans witnessed a completely different side of the Notorious. Known for his fiery confidence and unpredictable behavior, this time McGregor appeared calm, grounded, and intensely focused. He revealed that he's been on a spiritual journey that has helped him reconnect with his purpose and rebuild the fire that once defined his career. "I'm not here by chance," McGregor said. "There is a higher power, God, who guides my path and all of our journeys. I live my life by God's word, and since the last event, I've truly engaged in this spiritual awakening. I've been saved. I am healed." He went on to describe how his renewed faith has transformed his mindset, both personally and professionally. "Because of that, the world is in for a treat," he continued. "The competitive spark that once burned inside me is now a roaring blaze. I feel more alive, more driven than ever before." McGregor expressed admiration for his fellow fighters, recognizing their dedication and spirit. "I envy these men up here," he said, looking at the athletes preparing to make weight. "They're about to step into the ring, entertain the fans, and do what they were born to do, and just like them, I've been called to do the same. This calmer, spiritually awakened version of Conor McGregor seems to mark the beginning of a new era, one where faith, focus, and passion guide his journey back to the octagon.